Welcome to Game News, Fry Havoc, and let's slip the news of GamesCon that these foul commentators, foul as in penguin, fell above the earth. With gamers groaning for information, we are your proclaimers of nonsense. Reports. Grover?
Dude!
And myself, Chris. Mike is out this week on his birthday vacation. Or maybe that's just what they told us it was.
Yes.
So yes, GamesCon has let loose upon us with not as much news as one might expect, being one of the biggest gaming conventions of the year and certainly the biggest in Europe, but there's been plenty of goodies revealed and expanded upon in the last week in and out of the show. So the Sony conference showed new footage from games like Infamous Second Son, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, Watch Dogs, and probably the first Vita title people are actually excited about, Tearaway. But it is surprising just how much of their conference focused on the indie developers, naming off dozens of games like Minecraft and Binding of Isaac among others, mixed and matched between the PS3, PS4, and Vita. Many of them quoted as console exclusives, or at least exclusive early debuts like Miami Hotline 2 and Rogue Legacy. Plus some news like the Vita port of Borderlands 2, social-heavy PS3 Little Big Planet hub, and the surprising PS4 rebirth of an old gaming classic, Shadow of the Beast from the Amiga, ported to other systems like Commodore and Sega Genesis. But otherwise, the only major news here was that both the Vita and the 12-gig PS3 is getting their price dropped to $200. And while the $400 PS4 has a North American launch of November 15th and reaching the rest of the populace of the world before the end of the month. The same month, matter of fact, Microsoft intends on releasing the Xbox One. And there was a couple of hot shots taken at Microsoft from Sony at the show.
While others have shifted their message and changed their story.
Ooh!
No, Kip! We were consistent in maintaining policies and a model that is fair and in tune with consumer desires.
Meanwhile, Microsoft revealed the Xbox One Upload Outreach program. Simply put, people will make a 1-minute video about their favorite upcoming Xbox One game, upload it to a major service like YouTube, and then link it in an email to uploadvideo@microsoft.com before September 15th. Those that Microsoft feel that are the most creative and entertaining videos will find themselves with a free Xbox One with a year of Xbox Live Gold, as well as an unnamed number of Xbox One launch titles. And it is possible that it's all of the launch titles. As an extra bonus, there's a chance that you will work with Microsoft and future upload promotionals and deals. I'll also add in that early in the week, that in the middle of mention after mention of upcoming PC titles abandoning it for use for Steam instead, Age of Empires Online listed that by July 1st, 2014, Microsoft will be closing the Games for Windows Live service. However, this message has since been removed and there's been no comment from anyone what this was about, whether it was a hack, whether it was a goof, whether it was a joke, or if maybe Microsoft is doing something and trying not to let people know about it. Who knows?
I hope it's true. I hate Windows Live.
Everybody's leaving it, but that's going to leave some very mainstream games without a service to run on if that happens.
Grand Theft Auto 4. This week, Bethesda confirmed Elder Scrolls Online will run on a $15 a month subscription. Asshole Online, ZeniMax Online Studios President Matt Burrow argued that the reasoning as a battle against monetizing in video games, making people worry that they should and shouldn't be paying for terms of content and value. Quoted, "We feel that putting pay gates between the player and content at any point in games ruins that feeling of freedom, and just having one small monthly fee for 100% access to the game fits the IP in game much better than a system where you have to pay features and access as you play." That doesn't sound that bad, actually.
Usually when I buy a game, I only want to pay for it once.
I can't say much. I just did that with Final Fantasy XIV, so what the hell am I bitching about?
Yeah.
So, there. And next one?
Blizzard's big news was on new Diablo 3 expansion pack called Reaper of Souls that will add a 5th act to the game, along with a new class called the Crusader. Increase the level cap to level 70, lots of new critters, bosses, runes, and skills. It will also add a new feature called Loot Runs that will be a randomly generated level that you can repeatedly play. The Paragon system is also getting an upgrade that will now run account-wide with no level cap.
Oh, MOBA title League of Legends made news as Riot Games released a blog post that the North American servers were hacked. They are urging everyone to recreate their passwords despite the hackers being unable to retrieve that information, saying that they only got away with usernames, emails, and some of the first and last names. Though they are looking into compromised transaction records out of 2011 that contain credit card numbers, there's some to 120,000 of them. Whew. Yeah, that's a lot. That is a crazy amount. The system Riot had in place is no longer used, but it takes precautions to notify and safeguard the affected players while taking steps to defend their servers future attacks like an email verification system. If they want to hack you, they're going to hack you.
And Connecticut House Representative Brandon Sharkey wrote a letter to select ranking execs at the ESA, Valve, Activision Blizzard, and Take-Two. It calls for them to stop licensing from gun manufacturers and stop any promotional deals with them, saying that these deals are, quote, nefarious, and going as far as pointing out that the infamous Sandy Hook shooter was an avid Call of Duty fan and used a Bushmaster rifle, a company that has various weapons in the Call of Duty series. At present, there's been no public comment from those who received the letters.
To further EA's attempt to over a new leaf to improve server relations by introducing Origin's Great Game Guarantee. Origin offers full refunds on downloaded and purchased games that you aren't happy with. You have within 24 hours after you first launch the game, or within 7 days from when you purchase it, or within the first 7 days after the game's release date if you pre-ordered it. DLC, games from EA's publishers and certain promotion products like the Humble Bundle won't be eligible. And speaking of that Origin Bundle, they've added Old School Populous and Command & Conquer Red Alert 3 Uprising for those who pay or have paid on the average. CNC is available for Steam download.
And now we begin Rapid Fire! Woo! So far, mobile-only Plants vs. Zombies 2 that launched on the 15th has already surpassed 16 million downloads, doubling EA's previous record, and launching the game to be the #1 in the App Store in 137 countries. I'm impatiently waiting for the PC version myself. Crytek is developing their new engine, but are dropping the numbered system anymore. So instead of CryEngine 4, it's just going to be CryEngine. This may seem odd and confusing, but they're beginning a new service that will let developers contact Crytek to help alter and modify the system build to fit certain needs. A very interesting but daring move. And with the Gran Turismo 6 on the horizon for PS3 owners, the Gran Turismo movie has had some details revealed, as it may be a bit different than people might expect. It will actually be the true life story of Lucas Orodones, yeah, that sounds right, a Spanish Gran Turismo player who was inspired to become the now professional race car driver that he is now. Okay. Taking second in the infamous grueling Le Mans 24-hour race in 2011.
Sims 4 was revealed, and thankfully that the game will be even better optimized to run on lower-end PCs, as well as shows no signs of the forced internet connection like SimCity. Thank you, God.
And XCOM Enemy Within is an expansion for Enemy Unknown that's coming out in November that will feature lots of new bits to increase replayability to even the older maps.
Oh, come on. Stop
it now! And crazy nostalgia-fueled parody Retro City Rampage is coming soon to the 3DS. And remember The Last Guardian? The game by the team behind Ico and Shadow of the Colossus, or Eco as some people called it. I guess most people call it, actually. That was first revealed at E3 in 2009 and repeatedly thought to have disappeared. Well, creative director Fumito Ueda has again confirmed that it's still in development despite the game not being a priority for Sony right now. It will ship someday. And The Legend of Zelda's Wind Waker HD is getting a hero mode that will add extra challenge by making enemies hit twice as hard, and no hearts were dropped for refills anymore. And lastly, some fighting game community news, as Yatagarasu will be coming to the PS Vita under the name Legend of Raven, while the Wii U finally gets some fighting game attention, but in the form of the Super Nintendo versions of Street Fighter II. This includes Street Fighter II, Street Fighter II Turbo, and Super Street Fighter II. If this wasn't head-tilting enough, they're sold separately for $7 each, and offer no online play, even though it has Miiverse support. However, in North America, if you buy one, the other two can be bought for half price, and in Europe, buying two gets the third one for free. I still have to ask why all three weren't in one $8 package, though. And there's also Fighters Within for Xbox One that is supposed to use the Kinect for full one-to-one representation of the user's moves. If this sounds vaguely familiar concept, this is because it's from the same folks who made Fighters Uncaged for the 360's Kinect and was extremely poorly rated. But supposedly the multiplayer and the representation is dramatically improved if the promos are to be believed, and conflicting reports on Killer Instinct reboot, but most every version makes people wince. See, you can get the game as a download for free, so you get the basic game for Jago, but $20 will give you the 6 launch characters with 2 DLC ones when they come out later, and $40 will give you all of that, plus the extra costumes, stages, and accessories along with an original arcade version of Killer Instinct 1. Sold separately, each character would cost $5. One of the conflicting stories that I heard, the $20 one only comes with 6 characters, and the $40 one is the one that comes with the extra DLC characters. I'm a little more lean to believing that one, but the majority rules is the one that I've said so far. But that is game news for August 24, 2013, and I'm kind of sorry that GamesCon was kind of disappointing for any amazing news. I mean, if you're a Sims fan or a Diablo fan, then awesome, but everybody else is kind of
meh.
So I guess that's all for now. There's nothing really funny to say, except for I do hope Mike will return. I don't think he exploded that badly. apparently. I mean, I think he's enjoying his birthday. That's what it is.
Yeah, birthday.
We'll see y'all next week.
See you next time.
Later, dudes!